For years, foreign entrepreneurs had a number in their heads, a specific amount of capital that would unlock the door to starting a business in Japan, 5 million yen to start a business and operate it in Japan. About 35,000 US dollars. It wasn't a fortune. Thousands of founders scraped together the money, wrote their business plans, and made it happen. Then in October 2025, everything changed. I'm not talking about a small adjustment here. The capital requirement didn't go up 20% or even 50%. It was a 500% increase that locked out thousands of aspiring entrepreneurs overnight. Founders who were weeks away from submitting applications suddenly had to completely rethink their plans. Existing business owners started panicking about whether they could renew their visas. And everyone started asking the same question. Is it even still possible to build a business in Japan? So in light of these changes, we want to revisit a topic we've discussed in the past. How much does it cost to start a business in Japan now as a foreigner? Let's get into this. Okay, so one thing to make very clear is that the actual cost for incorporating in Japan actually did not change if you don't need a business manager visa. The cost of incorporation is the same as the video we've covered. You can check that in the description down below. What's changed is the stricter requirements for the business manager visa that caused this increase in cost. The business manager visa has always been Japan's primary pathway for foreign entrepreneurs. And the structure was actually pretty straightforward. You needed 5 million yen in capital, or if you didn't have that, you could hire 2 full-time employees instead. Either path worked. This threshold was low enough that solo founders, people bootstrapping their ideas, could actually test the market without raising massive amounts of outside funding. But here's the thing, that same accessibility created problems immigration couldn't ignore. They started noticing patterns, paper companies with no real operations, schemes where entrepreneurs would pay locals to be listed as employees who never actually showed up to work, businesses that existed purely to secure residency, contributing basically nothing to the Japanese economy. The Ministry of Justice watched this happen for years, and then they decided enough was enough. October 16, 2025. That's when the new rules took effect. New requirement, 30 million yen, that's 6 times higher. We're talking about jumping from $35,000 to $200,000 overnight. Now here's what most people completely missed in all the headlines about the capital increase. The money? That's actually only part of the story. Japan added several other requirements that fundamentally change who can even qualify for this visa and the additional costs associated with it. Let me walk you through them. First, you now must employ at least 1 full-time staff member, and not just anyone. They need to be either a Japanese national, permanent resident, or long-term resident. Additionally, either you or your full-time employee must demonstrate Japanese proficiency at JLPT N2 level. That's intermediate to advanced Japanese. The government is making it clear they want businesses that can actually operate in Japanese society, not just exist on paper. The sole founder model, it's over. You have to prove you're actually creating jobs for people already embedded in Japanese society. Second, you need to demonstrate your qualifications as a business leader. That means either 3 years of business management experience or a master's degree in a business-related field. And your business plan, it can't just be something you wrote up yourself anymore. It has to be reviewed and certified by a qualified expert. We're talking certified public accountant, tax accountant, or a government-recognized SME consultant. So let's break down what this actually costs. Because 30 million yen is just the starting point, capital and incorporation. 30 million yen, $200,000, sits in your corporate bank account. But the incorporation process itself gets more expensive. With the increased capital, scriveners now charge between 400,000 to 600,000 yen, instead of the old 200,000 to 300,000 yen. Registration tax is 210,000 yen at 0.7% of capital. Add government fees, seals, certificates, you're at 650,000 to 900,000 yen just to incorporate. Employee costs, 1 full-time employee who meets the residency and language requirements, entry-level salary in Tokyo, 250,000 to 300,000 yen monthly, but you're also paying social insurance, health insurance, pension, employment insurance, at 40,000 to 50,000 yen monthly in employer contributions. Annual cost for 1 employee, 4 to 5 million yen, that's $30,000 to $40,000 per year, and immigration will verify this is legitimate employment, office and certification. You need legitimate commercial space. In Tokyo, 15 to 20 square meters runs 100,000 to 150,000 yen monthly. But moving in means first month, last month, deposit, key money, 400,000 to 600,000 yen upfront. Add basic furniture and equipment, another 300,000 to 500,000 yen. Your business plan needs professional certification now. Certified public accountants charge 300,000 to 500,000 yen. Tax accountants run 250,000 to 400,000 yen. This isn't optional. Immigration requires it. The total and what it means. Here's your first year total. Capital, 30 million yen. Incorporation and legal, 650,000 to 900,000 yen. Employee, annual, 4 million to 5 million yen. Office setup and first year, 1,600,000 to 2,400,000 yen. Business plan certification, 250,000 to 500,000 yen. Total, 37 million to 39.5 million yen. That's 245,000 to 260,000 US dollars. Compare that to the old system, 5 million yen in capital, 500,000 yen in setup costs, no mandatory employee. You could start for 6 million yen, about $40,000. The capital requirement went up 6 times, but the total operational cost, nearly 10 times. This is why bootstrapped founders are scrambling. The business models that worked in 2024 don't work in 2025. If you were planning to test the market lean, start small, grow organically, that path just became exponentially harder. For well-funded ventures, corporate branches, franchises, this is manageable. For the solo founders scraping together savings, this effectively closes the door unless you're willing to raise significant capital or pursue alternative pathways like the startup visa. If you're trying to navigate these new requirements and need help structuring your cost and application strategy, we can help. At SmartStart Japan, we work with foreign founders on incorporation, visa applications, and building business plans that meet the new certification requirements. We'll break down your specific costs based on your business type and location. Book a free 30-minute consultation at smartstartjapan.com. We've helped over 60 companies navigate Japan's business visa system. The requirements changed. The costs went up dramatically. But with the right planning and professional guidance, it's still possible to build a business here.